Hey there everyone, ni hao, this is Choquito, and today we're gonna talk about how China constantly pushes you out of your comfort zone. Okay, so if you made it to China, chances are that you're a little bit crazy, like all the foreigners that are here. But jokes aside, I think that apart from the reason being getting a job or just being interested in Chinese culture, I think that it's the fact that China is still a big mystery for a lot of people, so it feels like a very adventurous place. But with all that mystery and adventures come a lot of challenges. And so today I want to talk about that. So, okay, so the first way that China pushes you out of your comfort zone is by the language barrier. And this goes regardless of your level of Chinese before coming to China. So if you learn some Chinese, when you come here it's completely different. Most of the people that you will be talking to are not used to hearing foreigners speak Chinese, and because of the way the language works with different tones, it's very likely that nobody will understand what you're saying. When you're talking, you have to pronounce the right tone, kind of like singing and hitting the note, right? And it's a language that is not easy to pick up. You would assume that, okay, I can pick up Chinese in a couple of years just by listening to the people, but that's not true. Wherever you will go, people will be talking in different dialects, and if they are talking in Mandarin, which would be the common language for everybody, they would be having different accents based on where they come from, with a lot of different phonics, which makes it harder for you to understand. Reading is a completely separate topic, and you have to learn characters that have nothing to do with the way things are pronounced or said or the meanings in words. You have to memorize each and one of them, and even for somebody who has studied Chinese, I still do struggle a lot with characters, and like on a daily basis you are pushed out of your comfort zone and you have to take photos of stuff and keep translating using the translate app all the time, or asking ChatGPT, DeepSeek to translate stuff for you. It's really annoying. You always have to spend more time into this. For someone who doesn't know any Chinese, or if they want to order something online or they just order some food, then everything needs to be translated before that, or they need to ask the help of a Chinese friend. Another thing that pushes you out of your comfort zone would be how the market and the trends are continuously changing. The city develops extremely quickly. The great majority of the things that people used to like 2-3 years ago, they are irrelevant nowadays. Like there's so many restaurants that were extremely popular for a couple of years, or maybe 5-10 years, and then suddenly the financial situation changed, or just people's tastes developed or changed, or I don't know, maybe it's the influence of social media, who knows, but everything is changing so quickly that you are always forced to adapt and readapt. And many of the things that you were invested in, let's say some jobs or some hobbies, some degrees that you were trying to get, are very likely not that important anymore, or perhaps like a lot of people got into that, so you have to become more competitive. Whatever sphere you're working in, you don't know how important it's gonna be in a couple of years, and it's very hard to read the market. The people, the trends are always developing and changing. Nothing can be really long lasting, and it takes a lot of effort to be able to succeed, and you have no guarantees that your success is gonna be long term. Always worried that whatever you are doing, these videos are gonna be irrelevant over time. Right, something else that pushes you out of your comfort zone is like society itself. By that I mean the way people are, people treat you, and mostly like communities and the friends that you can make. So basically, because everything is changing so quickly, there's a lot of people that don't stay here for too long. So you are forced to make new friends all the time, and for some people that's not very comfortable, it's very unusual. And once you make a couple of great friends, then you don't know how long is that friendship gonna last, because chances are that you or them are gonna be leaving the country sooner than later. You're always forced to make new friends, to adapt to different people and communication ways. So yeah, that's a little bit difficult. And society in a bigger scope also changes very quickly. The things that people used to value and treasure when I just came to China are completely different now. So you have to be challenging yourself, turning into somebody else, or developing, or sticking with your ideas and values and beliefs regardless of what's going on around you. Okay, another thing would be that there's always new rules added constantly into the country. I remembered when I came to China, at least in Shanghai, it was possible to ride as two people in a scooter, like with a passenger. You didn't need to wear a helmet. There were a lot of things that were very free-spirited, I would say, like a taxi driver could smoke inside the car. He would offer you a cigarette. There was so much street food on the streets. There weren't guards everywhere like it is right now, so you could access certain places without getting in trouble. Nothing illegal, of course, but now it feels that you're way more restricted. Perhaps one of the coolest parts was that there was a lot of nightlife and many streets that had just bars in front of each other, full of people, everybody hanging out on the street. But then slowly new rules were introduced, and pretty much everything that I just described completely disappeared. I don't know, many of the things that we liked doing or the experiences we liked building are not possible anymore. And I know it's for the sake of the development of the country and the safety and everything else, but at the same time it feels like a bit more boring and just lifeless overall. Before, like, you could run into adventure very easily, but now it's something that you kind of forceful have to find. And one more important thing, of course, is the constant pressure that goes around visas here for expats. When I came to Shanghai, it was very easy to get a working visa for pretty much anyone who wanted to come to the country. And then they realized that many of the expats coming here were not the best people, so they got way more strict with that. But now it got to the point that it's actually very hard to get a working visa and even harder to stay for a long time. China doesn't normally reject tourists or people that want to stay here for not too long. But those who want to stay for a longer time, even those that have been living here for decades, I've seen many cases, they are being rejected their visas and just going back to their countries. All right, so another way that China pushes you out of your comfort zone is with the food. So you cannot be too picky. And don't get me wrong, like, Chinese food is probably my favorite food in the world. But when I just moved in, the flavors are so different. It's not like in the West where most of the stuff is just salty or sweet, right? But here is, you're gonna have many main dishes that are sour or sweet and sour or sweet, and the meats are gonna be sweet. And there's combinations that you have never imagined that were possible, and many fruits and vegetables and ingredients that you have no clue what they are. Some of them are stinky, some of them have absolutely no flavor, and you're gonna be trying those food, and very often you're not gonna be liking them too much. So you're forced to try a different way of consuming food, and only then, once you get used to it, you will start appreciating and loving it. But at the beginning, there was a lot of uncomfortable dining days that I had. But yeah, this one you just have to get through it. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is that you have to be proactive for something to happen. So even though this city has so many opportunities all around and the life here can be as good as you want, and if you are not pushing yourself to the limits, getting out of your comfort zone and chasing those dreams that you have, nobody is gonna bring them to you. And you're gonna get very little from the city because nobody really cares. So you have to constantly be chasing people, being annoying, trying to stay relevant, trying to just be proactive and do the things that you're supposed to do to get where you wanna be. And that most often than not means getting out of your comfort zone. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is it from me today. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a like. Leave your comments if you have something to say. And I hope to see you in the next one. Stay away.